Welcome. My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. I was born July 4th, 1986. I want to say thank you for tuning in. Today, we got to go on a walk and talk. And I want to talk about something that is really interesting. And it comes down to the concept of how can a lion catch a gazelle? How can a dog catch a rabbit? How can a cat catch a cardinal? How can a snake catch a mouse? All this stuff just it's like a weird, when you really look at it, it's a freak of nature, right? If you're just looking at it as said apples to apples, you're just like the hare or the rabbit is able to run 50 miles an hour, even on the slow side 40 mile an hour, and they could turn and spin and stop and change directions almost instantly and get right back to full speed almost instantly. But yet a dog like this right here is able to catch one and able to consume it. How is that possible when the dog can't go nearly that fast? When the dog has nowhere near the amount of agility? When the dog has nowhere even the same type of stamina that the other animal has? How can they catch it? How can the lion catch that gazelle when that gazelle is twice as fast as it? They're impressive how fast they are. And the same with that rabbit. It's twice as fast as the dog, but yet they can catch it. What's going on here that they're able to do that? That's the part where I believe we as humans need to really start to think and question a little bit right now. Because that's the concept that I'm going to say is how things are very easily controlled. This is the part that how we as humans are being placed into a smaller and smaller box, because we as humans are doing things to ourselves the same way that these animals are doing to each other. The animal is using a level of fear to be able to get the other animal to move. So the dog is going to apply fear to the rabbit. And it's going to apply just enough to start to, like, say, get in sync with it, to start to allow the rabbit to think that it is also another rabbit. Don't worry about me. Where it's nervous, but it's like it's putting it in just the amount of fear. This is how that's why it's incredible to just see like a border collie working the animals. He's putting just enough fear to say to the animal, we're good. Almost like we're homies, like we're friends, we're buddies. Just enough fear to get it to really just relax down a little bit. And then what it starts to do is it starts to apply a lot of pressure to it. As soon as it'll catch it a little off guard. And then what it'll do is it'll just get it to like one, it just gets terrified. And it's like, oh my goodness, I gotta move. And once it gets it in that state, it's so easy to get it at that moment. It's so easy to capture it because it's gonna make mistakes. It's gonna start to mess up. But they pretty much always come in. That's why all animals, they pretty much, especially the more of the predator animals, they're always rolling in everything's poop. They're always eating the poop. They're always in all of the animal's feces. It's always, I think a lot of people just don't quite understand that about your dogs, why they're just rolling in it all the time. You're just like, what the heck are you doing? Because they're trying to mask themselves, to portray themselves to be and act as if they are the same. And say, hey, you're scared? No, don't be too scared. I'm fine. I'm your friend. I'm here to help you out. I'm here for the best of you. And then they're like, oh, okay, cool. Well, you're good. But then as soon as it gets just close enough to just allow you to put your guard down for a moment, they come in and do something savage and just to absolutely terrify you. And then that's when you're in the so-called reactive mode. You're in flight mode. You're not even in fight mode in that moment. You're not going to be able to fight because you're not ready for it. Your instinct is just going to be to run. As soon as you start to run away, that's when you're done. You're done. You're going to have to run back to the house. You're going to have to lock the door. You're going to have to run away. You're going to have to escape. You're going to have to get out. You just have to get away. You have to get out. You're not going to be able to have a chance to fight. You would at least be able to have a chance to fight in the beginning of this sequence. That's why the unfortunate thing is you watch any of these shows on the National Geographic and the History National Animal channels and all that. Man, it's just fascinating stuff to just sit and watch. That you'll see that the animals, once they get to the point that they're about to be eaten, they rarely fight back. They just, unfortunately, accept that defeat. The ones that fight back, and in reality, you could just watch this over and over, especially with the hyenas and all of them, that they'll fight back because they didn't get them to be calm and relaxed enough yet. They came in with this rush. They came in with this force. They came in with this we're the biggest, baddest, and the toughest, and we're just going to be able to take you. And then when they start fighting back, they lost it. They're going to lose that animal. The dog, I mean, the rat, I don't know if y'all see rabbits. Rabbits are kind of crazy in reality. They're really tough. They got these sharp nails. And if the rabbit fights back at the dog's going to lose. If the cat starts to fight back at the dog's going to lose, because the dog is they tough, man. They're gonna fight, and they're gonna be able to get away from that threat. But when we come in the sense of, oh, we're all just hanging out, we're just friends, we're just buddies. I'm just like you. It's all good, man. I know you're a little nervous, you're scared because I look and I act and I talk a little differently, and I'm a little different, but we're the same. We're just buddies, man. We're good. And then that's when they can sink in and absolutely destroy you. Because now your perceived notion is we're safe. But then the real change happens that you're not going to have a choice. That's what's going on with us as humans right now. There's something out here that is in reality acting like the wolves. And the wolves are walking around and they're confident and they're strong. Sometimes they get a little, that's the perfect word, they get a little cocky. We're like, we're wolves, man. We could take what we want. Then they go and try to take it and they realize, man, we missed it. How did we miss out? Because they came in with the wrong game plan. When they come in with the right game plan of slow and steady, be really slow. Don't worry. Don't stress. Don't put stress on them. Just allow them to think that we're the same as them. Let's walk amongst them. Let's hang out. Let's sleep next to them. Let's go to the same water troughs and just drink with them for a couple of days, just to let them know that, we're not a threat. The other people out there, they may be a threat, but y'all not a threat. Only to the one day that they come in and finally, when you put the guard down, you put your head into that water trough, the lion or the wolf comes and he just takes your life right then and there. That's what's going on. And that's going on in a very fast, rapid pace today in reality, because we're thinking and acting as if everyone is out to do and be and wants the same stuff. And that's just not the case. That's something that, unfortunately, I don't know why, but it's that's the word that just comes to brain, is that Stockholm syndrome, and we get stuck in the thinking that it's okay, everything is fine. We get stuck in in reality, straight up, the abuse is good. I want it, I need it, I thrive off it, and not realizing that not everybody is thinking and being the same as you, that others do different stuff. And not everyone is like you. That's the part where a lot of people get jammed up. And just especially, unfortunately, folks like me, because I think that everyone is out to help each other. I think that everyone is trying to do the best to be able to really see the best in everybody. And I really not just recently, but I've come to the understanding of that is far from true. And now just sitting back and studying and watching and seeing what's going on this planet, I know that to be 100% true, because that's just the way that how the animals work. That's how nature works. That's how everything, even out here in this little, I don't want to call this a forest, but this wooded area is. All these trees are out to win. They're going to do everything they can to make sure that the smaller one next to it doesn't survive, because it wants to win. It wants to be the biggest. It wants to be the best. And that's just how life is with everything. All the way to a spider, to an ant colony, to a wasp colony, to everything out here. That's what they're doing. That we're the best. And then there's the ones that are just said little workers, where I can say that that's where I come into play with, I know how I am. I'm just a worker that's just like, hey, everything's good. Everything's great. Everything is all right. And in reality, I'm the one that's most susceptible to being able to allow the said predator to come in and just be able to easily destroy me, because my predator has gotten me to think that it's just like me. We're the same. We're no different. So when they start to switch up, they start to change up, I start to say, oh no, I don't see that part, because all I do is see we're the same part. You can't change. You're who you are. You're not going to be, but in reality, they've never been that. They've been something different the entire time. They're always showing to be and perceive something, but that's not who they actually are. That's the part with me on why I know for a fact, 100% fact today, on why folks today are struggling with a simple, easy dog, because we are trying to act and be something that we are not. We are trying to portray something. We are trying to act like somebody. We are trying to oh man, it's about to be a muddy mess. We're trying to, I think we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna have to walk it. I don't wanna walk it. Hold on. Let me see if I can go around. Sorry, I got sidetracked. That's super, super muddy right there. We're gonna attempt to get through here a different way. I appreciate y'all coming back. It's one thing I really like about doing certain things is I like testing these dogs out to stop, walk around, hide, go somewhere and see if they just keep on walking or if they come back and try to find me. They always come back and try to find me. I greatly appreciate that. But that's something that I just noticed. We're struggling with these dogs because we're lying to them. We're trying to act a way and we're not being a way. We're trying to show them that, hey, I'm your buddy. I'm just like you. Oh, the whole concept of how we're out here wanting to, because a dog does this to another dog, we can do that to the dog. And that's the concept of everything that's the start of that foundation on when the destruction really happens. Because we're trying to act like we're it. You know, if they do that to each other, we have all rights to be able to do that to them. And then the dog starts to say like, oh, okay, cool. You're just like me. We're friends. We're buddies. We're good to go. But then things start to switch up. They start to change. You start to show your real true intentions of, I told you to do it just because. I told you to do it. You don't have a choice. I told you to do it because that's what I want. I don't care about you. I just want what I want. Then a dog's going to say, hey, I gotta unfortunately reject that. They're not going to want to be around that because that's not good quality leadership to be around. And these dogs, they're not dumb. They're smarter when it comes down to relationships. Animals are smarter about relationships than us as humans will ever be on this planet. They understand how to work with each other. They understand how to communicate to each other. But we as humans do not know how to do that because we come in with trying to portray to be something that we're not. A dog, this is why I like a prime example. My shepherd over my Dalmatian right here. My shepherd, he doesn't lie to another dog. He looks at him right away and says, hey, buddy, I don't play. I don't want to interact with you. I don't even want to sniff you. I don't want to look at you. I don't want you to look at me. I'm on my mission. I'm just doing what I'm doing. He doesn't lie. He doesn't come up to the dog in a way of, I'm gonna, I do like you. I am okay with you, even though he doesn't. He's just gonna straight up say, I don't like you, right to the dog's face. No care in the world about what the other dog thinks about him. He's just just straight up. And a Dalmatian, she's the one that, oh my goodness, a lot of people get terrified when they see this dog because your dog is flipping out, going crazy. And this Dalmatian will walk right up to that dog's face that's just barking in her face. And she'll just look right dead in that dog's face and just say, hey, what's up? How you doing? Because the dog is, they're not lying. They're who they are. But we as humans, we don't do that. We don't do that. We act like something different behind closed doors. And then we go out into public and then we act like something, a whole nother thing. And then when we continuously keep on doing that, that's where we're going to run into issues. That's where, for me, I unfortunately ran into issues in just my life. And I know a whole lot of people run into the same issues that I thought that everybody just did what they did. If I don't talk to you, I don't talk to you. I'm not going to talk to you to try to make something be a way. I'm just not going to talk to you. If someone comes up to me and just starts to I don't like using this word, but it is what it is, just yakking away and just trying to blah, blah, I'm just going to look at you with dead silence and just say, I don't want to talk. I'm not going to entertain. I'm not going to try to like act like something just to please someone, for instance. I'm just going to be me. And when I be me, I realize things are, oh my goodness, much, much, much simpler. But majority of people don't do that. Majority of people, you'll hold a conversation with somebody just to 5 seconds later say, I can't stand that person. I don't like nothing about it. But yet you're sitting there smiling and laughing and giggling and trying to have a good time with them. And then you wonder why you're struggling in life right now. Because you're stating something that you're not. And that's what animals don't do. That's why animals are a phenomenal thing for us to really watch, to learn how to actually like get better from in reality in life. Because they're not lying. They're just straight up. They're straight up. If the dog is biting you in your face, it's straight up. The dog wants to bite you in the face. Whereas a human, they're just going to bite you. They're going to do something behind to try to get back at you, as opposed to just being straight up and straight up front about it. And that's the, hold on. Wait a second. I see something weird going on right here. Sorry, I just got because I know the trail turns, but it doesn't turn there. and I seen something moving. And nothing should be moving right there. I guess we're fine. I got the dogs with me. They're all right. That's one thing about being deep, because this trail here, I'm far into the woods right now. And you start to get far into the woods, you start to see and hear some things that's kind of like, what the heck is that? As long as the dogs are my safety net, I guess I can say, of what's actually going on and what's around. But yeah, these animals, they just just straight up, they're just too honest. They're too real with life. They have nothing that they are trying to hide. They just show it all, and they're just being it all. And that's the part on why they can work with each other. But the scary thing is, oh, okay, there's some people up there. Come here. The scary thing is when we try to act like something else, and then we're only trying to act like it to just destroy it. That's how the dog can catch the rabbit. That's how the wait, guys, let's just wait right here a moment. Kahi, Ophi, wait over here. Let's walk this way for a moment. Let's just follow this trail and see where it goes. That's how the dog is able to catch the rabbit, because it starts to try to act like it, to get it to think like everything is okay. Everything is fine. There's nothing to worry about here. That's how the dog is able to get the sheep to be able to move around so easily, because they come in and say, oh, you know what? I look just like you. We're just the same. There's nothing going on here that you need to worry about. And then when the time comes, they start to apply the pressure, and then they get what they want in the end. And they're only doing that to get what they want, not to help out or to be better. And that's the unfortunate thing that we as humans are just doing to each other. We're acting like something to get something. And when you're acting like something to get something, you're going to run into Kai. You're going to run into this way, buddy. We're going to run into a situation where you're going to start to put people in fear that are around you. And that's what's going on the mainstream, that a lot of us are being forced and pushed into an extreme high level of fear, because there's something out here that wants to just, I don't know why and what and why is all that stuff, but to just completely, the only thing I can say is control, to the point of having and being and doing nothing, to be able to make sure that they're the only ones that are able to continue to keep on surviving, and everything else is just there for them to just be able to consume. And it may sound kind of nasty in a sense of thinking that in a way of us as humans, but in reality, do we actually really know, in the end of the day, what's actually going on this planet? We're just simple little, just straight up workers in reality, just doing what we're doing out here. We're not the ones that are running and controlling and ruling, because when it really comes down to really just looking at these animals and how they function, they're doing what they're doing in a savage way to be able to survive and to be able to keep on growing, to be able to make sure that their numbers are going to be greater than the other person's numbers. That's why they'll do savage things. That's why they have no care to do what they do to get certain animals. They just go absolute. They go insane. They don't have no worries about affecting what effect they put on what it is that they're destroying. They're just going through, plowing through, and just doing whatever it is that they want to do without caring at all about anything except for themselves. That's something that is very, very, in reality, devastating, when we can see that in a sense how the animals are, but we're not really realizing that that's what we as humans are also doing to our own selves. Thank you. Hey. I'm just coming out here for a walk. Just, that's one thing that I do know that just doesn't make sense to me about so-called reactive dog. I just don't see it, because all I do is go for walks over and 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 over again. And everything starts to become more and more just relaxed. Like, I could tell when this Dalmatian here is ready to go. She starts to build, she starts to build, she starts to build. But she doesn't just go into a straight, I'm gonna go take off and just I'm gone. Whereas, yeah, day one I'd have been out here with this dog, that'd have been a hot mess. I'd have needed some sort of GPS tracker on her to be able to get her to stay anywhere around. But now I can tell when she's like starting to build to, I'm gonna go find something. I can find it. Because every time I come out here, I'm primarily always running. And I just have her on this harness to let her pull so that she can just basically chase whatever she wants. But yeah, I could take it off and she could just know how to regulate herself because she's just getting what she needs: exercise, work, fulfillment, the opportunity to do what it is that she needs and wants to be able to do. Even like right here, I would almost guarantee most of y'all would be scared to allow, because I don't know how great the camera can see how far she is. You'd be scared to allow your dog to like go down that far down in there. But to me, I'm just like, we're fine because I can see how she is right now. Now, if she was all excited and frantic, going crazy, tail wagging, I was like, hey, girl, you know, you come back, come back. You might just take off, go a little bit too far. And that just comes through doing it over and over and over again. It just, it doesn't make sense when I see these videos of these so-called reactive dogs. Because all I do is just take them for walks and go places and do stuff and hang out and sit down and go for a walk and go for a run and play fetch and go for a swim. Or I don't swim, but the dogs will swim. Just do stuff like that. And all that just disappears. Like this dog here, hey guy, he's seen like tens of thousands of people, tens of thousands of dogs in his life. He sees them all the time. Everywhere I go, he's constantly able to see dogs and see people. And that's why he's a shepherd that is cool with being around dogs and cool with being around people, because I put him around that tens of thousands of times with this. I mean, I went to one event that there was at least 10,000 plus people in just one event that we went to. There was hundreds and hundreds of dogs out there. And I just allow him to just see this stuff and be around this stuff. You don't have to interact with it, but just be around it. And he just turns into an absolutely amazing animal. Does he have that guard protectiveness to him? Yeah. But he knows when it's real and when it's not. He knows, because even just earlier, there was people walking ahead of me. If he was still on his guard protective, what's up, man? His guard protective work, he would have been up there barking at them, trying to chase them to run them to get out. But he's seen so many people, he's seen so many dogs that it's just, it's all normal. And that's how a dog can bark in his face, and he just looks at it like, okay, well, all right, you're barking, I'm here, I'm just doing what I'm doing. And there's just nothing weird about it. Nothing weird at all. Because even here, the Dalmatian, she's constantly watching me. So here, I'm just gonna move and we're gonna see what's gonna happen. She's constantly watching me. She's like, where's this guy at? What's going on with him? So when I come back this way, where do you think she comes to? She's just on an extreme mission. She's like, I gotta come find my man again. We're moving, we're doing something. This is just what they do any and everywhere I go with these dogs, because we just do it over and over and over and over again. And she sees dogs and she's just like, she's so funny. She knows, dogs know dogs. It's the thing. Dogs don't know humans and humans don't know dogs the way that dogs know dogs. And when one is just barking and flipping out, she will walk right into that dog's face and that dog just stops and looks right at her, and it's like, hi. And everyone is always so scared, but she just knows I'm good to go. Everything's fine here. There's nothing to worry about. She's a really, really incredible animal. Really incredible animal. Just her sociability is something on the next level. That's something for me that more I'm looking at and working with different breeds, the more I know how to be able to use, say, a better selective of breed to be able to help out unsocialized animals or dogs, because they don't have that like protective. Let's go this way, guys. Kahi, Ofi. They don't have that protectiveness to them at all. Like this Dalmatian, she's not a guard protective animal. She's just a, a lucky-go-lucky, just fun, happy dog. Whereas like Dobermans and Rottweilers and Malinois and Shepherds and all these dogs, they have a protectiveness to them. So the level that they're going to be able to give to the other dog is, it could be a little dicey, because they already have that like that protectiveness. Whereas another dog that's just like a classic lab, that's just happy and pretty cool and loves life, is going to be able to explain something much. Oop, come here, come here, come here, come here. That dang rattlesnake. I appreciate you. Yeah, my dogs are definitely scared of them. That's the first rattlesnake I've seen out in a while. Look at him. He's like, what? That's a cool thing. I don't know how I've gotten my dogs. Well, I catch them at the house all the time. So when I catch it at the house, I'm kind of like, I make a big scene about it. Like, oh my goodness. And the dogs are kind of like, they stay the heck away from the snakes. Let's just boogie along. They stay away from the snakes. Come on, girl. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. They stay away from the snakes. I make a big scene about it. Sorry. Ophi. I guess that's the part that I can see why people are more scared about everything today. We're scared about everything. Where for me, I see and hear a rattlesnake and I get like, what's going on? But it's not going to deter me from wanting to come out here again. Something that is just really fascinating.